Hey everyone, DuckNuck84 here, back with more Broken Sword. In the last episode, we learned that Nico's father was part of the secret organization, had to solve another one of those stupid puzzles, and yeah. And so, now we are back with George, and we're going to go visit Nico, which is back to where the original part of the game continues.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
That guy's new. But anyway, like I was saying, in the original game, you basically, right after finishing the investigation at the cafe, you would go straight to here. So, streamlined it a little bit better, which I think what I'm finding is it fits better than some of the Nico parts that are added that just kind of... I don't know how much they're adding so far. Anyway, do you want to see me with a clown nose?
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
But it is a clown nose.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
Other than it is gross.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
Okay, and tell me about your
I've
psychic
changed my mind.
powers.
Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know? How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't
So
you ever
true.
wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Does that also mean that your customer service is crappy? Because it's a satellite dish company?
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
For me, I thought you meant that, like, Nico's apartment was not locked, you just had to nudge it, but I think she means the door to the apartment complex itself, because I was like, if it's not locked, then why did her cousin need a key? Her so-called cousin, at least.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat.
Yeah, do you have any flowers that aren't, like, saying that I want to bone you?
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
Okay, good to know.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden, but I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with a hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Well, to be honest, I haven't really looked at Bogart's buttocks when I watch Bogart movies.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
And once more, anything on psychic.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Yeah, because you probably will not appear in the next game.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Well, now that we know the door is stuck, I think if you went to the door beforehand, it wouldn't.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Yeah, it wouldn't open, and so you had to talk to her to begin with.
Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
See, yeah. We know her name, so I don't know why she just reintroduced
Have you?
herself.
And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd
Call
call
it justice
What
searching.
My editor told me to drop this story. Can you believe it?
But you're not going to do that.
Oh, no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers
So the
just about
usuals.
everyone. Tell me more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera.
And I put my fingers
I
in
was
the
8,
picture.
And my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
To study art. Which is why I don't have a job at the moment. Yeah.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Why were eating potatoes? What? Do they use potatoes in printing now or something? Or I don't know. Well, about the
Tell me more
clown.
about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arnaud Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
And a
I
mime.
had been about to add mime to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cachon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death.
Okay, so what do we have now? I will show you the
I found this
news.
false nose in the sewer.
It is a giant false nose.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
So we have a new lead, and I will show you this dirty Kleenex as well.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No. I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
Fine, I will put it back in my jacket.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed a film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made.
What will we find?
Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh, no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent
Or
moon.
a crescent moon.
That's what I said. And by the way, I have a fantastically defined neck.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
And here's my magic sewer tool.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but... Well, I had a job to do.
For justice!
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
And I was booted out of her place immediately. So I guess maybe we can go to the costume shop. Which is... Lares de Monde. Poste de Police. Oh yeah, we can go here too. Don't think there's anything we can do here yet, but let us talk to the desk sergeant.
Excuse me.
Not so fast. I'd like your personal details, please.
Huh? What for?
In the event of an accident, it would help us to know where to send the body.
Look, is this really necessary? I came in here to talk to Rosso.
Why did you not say? He's not here.
But...
Do you wish to leave a message for him? I have a choice of blue
No.
or black.
I will leave a
I'd
message, not a
recommend
massage
less
for him.
Formal communication.
I'd prefer to talk to him in person.
As you wish, monsieur.
Okay, what about...
Is Sergeant Moo available?
What? You want to speak to him?
Yes, please.
I cannot recall the last time someone asked to speak to Moo. No one ever speaks to him. Not even his kids. Eh bien. He is not here, monsieur. He is with Inspector Rosso, like Laurel and Kitten. No, monsieur?
Hardy. Oliver Norville Hardy.
Yeah, get your comedians right. Okay, well, I don't think that's anything important.
Thanks for your help, officer.
It looks like we'll have to come back. Let's look at the book, though.
It was just some police paperwork, a search warrant.
Okay. So, I think that's where we need to go. Yes, the costume shop. Do I want to turn on the gramophone? I don't know.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible. You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I
No.
don't have a sister.
No, we
think I'd
didn't.
look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just
that's-
need some information.
Of course. How can
Kinda
I help?
strange if you did.
Have you heard of a man named Plantar?
He died.
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Okay, and what about a
I'm looking
clown?
for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then, I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Well, can we narrow it down to, like, in the last day, maybe? What about this false nose? Do you
want this
recognize
red
it?
nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
What about
Does this
this?
dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that.
That's disgusting?
Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
You mean 2 cans? And that was the thing, like, I remember when I was a kid, whenever I thought white pancake, I'm like, pancakes usually aren't white. They're, and like, well, I guess the batter is maybe, but they're usually brown, so that, and then it made me kind of want pancakes, but that's still disgusting. Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning.
He bought that wet
That
pancake.
is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Carr.
Khan! Required whenever there's anyone called Khan.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
It is not part of the fantasy, so I do not know about it.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay.
Oh, you get me with the hand buzzer.
What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
No.
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
You might find it quite shocking.
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Or, don't wear it while you're going to the toilet. So, where else can we go? That's the apartment. Maybe now we can talk. Yeah, now we can go back to the police. Hello, Sergeant Moo.
Excuse me, Sergeant.
What do you want now?
Do you recognize this clown nose?
In the sewer.
What were you doing down there?
Exploring.
For clues. That's where the clown went.
You still insist you saw a clown, monsieur?
Of course. And this novelty nose proves it.
It will take more than a plastic proboscis to convince Inspector Rousseau.
You don't want this as evidence, then?
Certainly not, monsieur.
Especially after someone has worn it.
Do you recognize this dirty tissue?
No, monsieur, I do not.
I found it in the sewer.
Perhaps it would be better if you put it back there.
No way! This could be an important clue.
If you say so, monsieur.
What do you suppose this tool is used for, Sergeant Moo?
It looks like something an obstetrician would use, monsieur.
It was with tools like this that the clown made his escape.
I don't understand.
He opened up the hole and disappeared into the bowels of the earth.
If you say so, monsieur.
Moo, you're not helping me at all.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
But he's
This
not
man looks
like a
nothing
clown.
like a clown?
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
Besides, he has a crescent scar.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Not yet.
Not really. Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his right cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume.
Okay, and do you want to shake my
Would you like
hand?
to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Okay.
See you later, Sergeant.
Can I talk to you again and then talk to...
Excuse me, Sergeant.
What do you want now?
Okay, yeah, I can talk
Is
to you
Rosso
now.
here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I
Yes,
do.
One moment, monsieur. It's Stobart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
We solved it, apparently.
But I've been taken off the case.
What about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
That, I was going to say, his little speech about exercising the brain cells. It reminds you of Hercule Poirot.
Don't you want to
But
know
that
what I
guy's
found
Belgian.
out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
For justice!
You must forget the business of the clown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobart.
But then I wouldn't have anything to do.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
Okay, then
I heard that the
who he
bomb
was.
victim's name was Plantar.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
Where did we get that information from? That he was part of the Treasury. That's nothing that's even been brought up. Oh well, I guess that's all we have.
Inspector?
And I don't
See
need
you later, Sergeant.
anything else from you, Moo, so I guess I'm out. Go back to the cafe. Don't think there's going to be anything, but... yeah, it's all boarded up. So there's nothing to do there, so I guess... go back here.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Want to shake my
The
hand?
novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
It's supposed to be funny.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
And I don't doubt it.
I get the picture.
Okay, so there's nothing else here then. So where do we need to go? I've already asked her that.
I
Okay.
have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
So nothing else there. So what? So there has to be something at the cafe then. Oh, maybe we have to call someone. Yeah, that's it. Maybe we can, now that we know the guy's name, we can ask about that.
Hello? Who is this? Mr. Todrick? Oh, it's you again. What now?
Yeah, that's what we gotta
The
do.
man I'm looking for is called...
Khan!
He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
Mr. Khan Clown. Hotel Ubu. Ah, these guys. Although, from what I understand, they've taken out part of it, but these guys could be in lots of trouble in the original game. It is the typical back street of Paris. There's a dead hand in the trash here, and no one said anything. Or noticed that. It's kind of the stuff that you'd call the police on. But, looks like I can't do anything back here. Well, let's talk to these goons.
Yeah?
Shake my hand.
Oh, rats. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
Not really, especially when they kill people.
Television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Okay.
You ever meet a guy called Plantow?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's.
But why he would go to a coroner's, I don't know.
A guy named Khan.
That ain't nobody I know.
And because you like clowns.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
Well, fine. I don't think he's going to care any of this other ones. Maybe the picture, though.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No. I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay, then. No, I don't.
Well, you're no help
See you
whatsoever.
later.
Not if you see me first.
I hope I don't see you ever again. What about you, the little
Excuse
Weasley
me?
type?
Yes?
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Well, I guess you could say that since I have a clown nose.
Have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No. That name means nothing to me.
And finally,
Do you know
probably
a
not
man
going
by
to
the
know Khan
name of
either.
Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you. I don't know it.
And finally, maybe he'll shake my
will you
hand.
shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has
It's
been?
been down the sewers. That's where it's been. Well, fine. Let's go in. Hey, you're the guy that was in the paper at the start of the game. You were the visiting dignitary or Nobel Prize or something?
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Typical American.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
Clowns,
I don't
mimes.
know what you're talking about.
Did you know
Do you
someone
know a guy
named
called
Plantow?
Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have.
You know, he has a Nobel Prize. He battled in the science wars. He's a veteran.
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
So is boredom.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Touché.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
Have you seen this guy?
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective.
I work for justice.
What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
What other things,
Would you
then?
help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Well, we know that Khan's a bad guy, just because
What does this
he's
clown's
finished this
nose
out.
suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
All the clowns were shot.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about
I was only
mimes?
joking, but
Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
it's a mime-free
Sound
zone.
like heaven.
I was only joking about the taking the clowns out to be shot, but okay.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's about all we're going to get from
Thanks
you
for
right
your help.
now.
Goodbye.
What about this lady at the piano?
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear.
Not in that way.
For one foolish moment, I thought. But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George.
Then he got kicked by a
I am
horse.
Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
I'm just trying to get that metaphor that you just gave out of my head and trying to forget that.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday.
Isn't the same
I
thing?
needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Touché.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
Well, what happened last night then?
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It
Oh,
was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
okay. Well, what else
Who was
can
the
you
guy who
tell
led
me?
you on?
His name is Merlin.
The Magnificent? Well, do you know a guy with a
Looking for a
crescent-shaped
murderer.
scar?
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use?
Private Dick?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Oh, that's another joke that would have gone over my head when I was young. Oh, those innocent times.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan?
I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Okay, what about those
Did you
goons
know there's a
outside?
gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets.
And they're just happy to see you.
That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
You're dropping so many innuendos.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Good heavens, are you trying to alarm me?
It's true. He uses the name Khan.
And tissue time.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
What about my magnificent sewer tool?
Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
Oh, I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
I'm guessing Merlin?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
Aha!
She represented everything.
So Merlin Con?
The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about.
The one with the tight trousers.
Me.
So his name is Con Merlin, or Merlin
Con. The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart.
Utterly shocked.
I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Besides, he spurned my affections.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Well, I think I'd like to look at those papers.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling. Positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
Well, he's not here, obviously.
He hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
Okay, so I think I have to talk to the concierge.
I just couldn't bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear lady.
Besides, she might like it. Okay, let's talk to the man behind the desk.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
No.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is
I see one behind the desk. Oh!
Hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantow?
No, monsieur.
Okay.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
Don't have it.
Driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
That's not a form of identification.
Monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
Yes, I would.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
I swear, sometimes I don't know if you're talking to the person or if you're thinking, doing an internal monologue with the way some of the echoing is, but I guess you were talking to him. Do you know this man?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
Well, what about this clown nose?
This red nose?
No, monsieur.
Or this
What do you make
handkerchief?
of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
Besides, I have my jacket.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do that same thing. And yeah, you're not going to be wooed by the magic sewer tool. Okay, so can I look at the register?
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
And I think I need that key.
Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag.
Okay, and let's see what I can remember. I think we need to have the lady here distract the man behind the desk.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Let's see.
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes, you did.
Yes, darling.
Okay, so that's nothing there. Now, I don't think there's anything with you.
Hello again. This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
Okay, so
Thanks for
maybe
your
I
help.
can...
Goodbye.
Maybe I have to actually try to grab the key.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No, I wasn't.
No way.
No way. Okay, so that now maybe... If not, then I'll just see if there's anything upstairs.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Okay, no, so maybe I have to go... Either that or maybe can I use a telephone? No, I can't. So let's see if I can just go upstairs.
The door was locked.
Like it should be.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The door was locked.
Need that key.
What now, monsieur?
Okay, that's
Key
probably what
hanging
I'd
on the
do.
hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
Well, can I take the key?
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
That was a bad joke.
I believe Khan, the man with the scar, is also known as Merlin, the man who has taken room 22.
What of it? What do you want?
Access to his room.
Do you have a license, monsieur?
Huh?
A private investigator's license?
Well, not exactly, but I can explain everything.
I am sorry, but without credentials, I cannot help.
Well, you haven't been much of a help at all anyway. Even if I had
I
credentials, you
insist
probably
you
wouldn't
give
have been
me
a
the
help.
key to Merlin's room.
I cannot do that, monsieur.
This guy Merlin is a menace.
So you say, monsieur.
He's not only a danger to society, but to your guests as well. He has toyed with the affections of Lady Piermont.
Ciel! Are there no depths to which he will not sink?
Precisely.
Okay, so... Is he just going to say the same
He's
thing?
already killed once, twice, maybe as many as 3 times. With your help, I just might be able to stop him.
But what if he finds out I have helped you?
Don't worry.
I cannot do it.
Okay, so now I think we can talk to her and she'll help us.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, Joe.
Yes, there we go.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Okay, now we can get the key.
I say, you there, flunky?
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
I'm speaking it.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Okay, and while he's gone, I can...
Over to you, my dear.
Exactly. Grab the key. And now we can go into the room and see what happens next. But I think I'll leave that for next time. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will continue the adventure in the next video. Until then...